Hey, what's up YouTube? We're back here with the 97 Chevy Blazer. And today, I'm going to open this window first because it is probably about 85 degrees out today and it's very hot. Air this vehicle out a little bit. Today's topic is the fuel gauge. Again. Yay. Believe it or not, where the fuel gauge is right now with the vehicle off is actually, I have determined as being the actual correct amount of fuel in the vehicle. Hard to believe, right? Key's not in the ignition, anything. That fuel gauge drifted back up to where it is right now after you took the key out and turned the vehicle off on its own. And that is, in my opinion, very accurate to how much gas I actually have in it. Somebody please explain to me how when the vehicle is off, the gauge worked. It drifted back up on its own to where it's supposed to be. I have 100 and, let's see if I can get that in there. Probably not showing up. 193, so 193 miles on this tank from top off. This is a 19-gallon tank on here. Now, I'm not going to try to do math, guys, because open this other window because it's hot in here. I'm not even going to try to do math today because I'm absolutely horrific at math. But this vehicle here usually gets anywhere between, I would say, 15, anywhere between 15 and 20 miles per gallon. I got 19 and a half miles per gallon taking a road trip up north and back, which was all highway, which is like phenomenal. I never got that many miles out of this before. This is a 97 Chevy Blazer, 4.3 liter, two-door vehicle. Like I said, I got 19 and a half miles per gallon going up there to Meadville from where I live, which is about 116 mile trip, so I did pretty good on gas. Around town, I get anywhere between 13 and 15 depending on the hills I choose to drive up, because the hills really drink the gas in my area because I live in Pennsylvania. But if you notice, I turned the key. Look where the gauge is now. It is below empty. So today's concept, or today's video, is going to basically be, does anybody understand what is causing this? I had replaced, this is what, August 25th, I think today is. No, today's probably August 26th here. I got a little tripod here. I'm going to see if I can set you up. Actually, I'm just going to hold you like this. I hope you guys can actually see me, because I can't see what you're seeing. But anyway, today is August 26, 2013. Purchased the fuel pump and replacement sending unit for this vehicle back on, I would say, February 28th of 2013. Installed it on March 7th. I want to say March 3rd. I'm trying to give you a roundabout time. I don't know the exact date, but I'd say around March 3rd I replaced, God, it's hot out here, the fuel pump and sending unit in the tank. Dropped the tank and the sending unit and replaced it. The sending unit and pump on there ran me about $129.99 on the eBay. They claimed it was an AC-Delco one, and I installed it. I did have to adapt the wire harness over to the newer style harness, which was the 4 pins going straight across. Instead of being like a 4-pin square block, it's like a straight across wire adapter. Soldered those in and heat shrunk them so we didn't have to worry about any kind of connectivity issues. But going on again and rambling, the fuel gauge was doing the exact same thing before I replaced this sending unit and pump, where it approximately have about a half a tank of gas, and it'll read almost empty. As soon as it gets below a half a tank, it just reads empty no matter where you're at. Did some diagnostics, troubleshooting on my own. Up under the hood there is a clip or a wire. Well, here, we'll just show you. Well, as you can see, I'm going to just show you one more time. This fuel gauge, as you can see, the top gauge there, right below the two lights that are illuminated. I don't have it running, the keys just turn, that's why all these lights are on. There is no check engine light or anything like that on this vehicle that displays, there's no codes or anything like that. The fuel gauge is reading empty with the key turned. Now watch this. Turn the key off, and of course it's not really going to do it. Oh, wait, there it goes. Just keep watching. See that fuel gauge? How it just moved up? Now it's not quite to where it was. But as you can see, it moved up to almost to the point of, right now is slightly lower than what I believe is in the tank. So it always did read lower than what I had in the tank. That's something I've always noticed with this vehicle. The previous fuel pump was a Carter brand sending unit and fuel pump that was in it. The fuel pump was starting to get a high-pitched noise anyway, and the gauge wasn't working right. It was doing the same thing it's now doing. So why is it when I turn my key off, this thing reads with the key out almost where it should be? I don't understand. I mean, maybe it's just coincidence that when you take the key out, the gauge just rocks to that point. Maybe that's just where it reads whenever the key's out, and you know, it's just residual resistance that's in it, or power. I don't know. That's why I'm making the video, because I don't know. So we're going to go ahead and just pull the key out a little bit here. Show you again. See that? Went boo! And look, now it's below empty again. So I have approximately, if I were to take a guess, approximately between 5 or 6 gallons of gas in this tank right now. So someone tell me why it's reading empty, and why it's been reading empty for the past 4 or 5 gallons. I had about 10 gallons in here when it started doing this. It's been doing this for a while. I filled it up twice just to test it to see, and it does it each time. I got 200 miles on here. I should have at least another, if I did my calculations, I should have at least another 60 or 70 miles to go before I'm technically empty. Maybe even more, you know, if I really want to push it. But we're going to take a little walk here. Up front, I'm going to show you something here. Pop the hood down here. Sorry if I'm making you seasick. Now, I've posted several videos about this vehicle before, you guys are probably getting tired of it, but actually, believe it or not, I have a lot of guys here. I'm going to sit you up for a minute like this. I can put the hood latch up. I have a lot of guys that keep saying, where's the Blazer videos? We want to see more. So here it is, guys. When you go here, just to give you a reference, here's the driver headlight, driver fender. Got all this ridiculousness here. I don't know what the hell is going on here. Someone put an aftermarket alarm in. Here's the connector right here that contains the fuel pump, not fuel pump, but the sending unit resistance. Now, if I unplug this, which I'm not going to do because it throws all kind of check engine lights because the sensors are detected to lose their voltage. Actually, I probably could with the light out. Let me just go ahead and do that so I can show you here. I'm going to set you up on a tripod. Hold on. Hopefully I don't break this camera today. Alright, let me see what you're seeing real quick here. Of course, you're probably not seeing what I need you to see. Actually, yeah, that works for now. You'll get the idea. So, this connector here that actually feeds into the vehicle, to give you the reading on a gauge, the top 2 pins right above my pointer finger here that I'm tapping, those top 2 pins, if you touch them together with like a screwdriver, the fuel gauge will read way over full. If you unplug this, the gauge will read empty. So that tells me, once again, I'm not an expert mechanic here, but that tells me that the problem I'm having has to be with that sending unit again. Now, for the most part, I've tracked the wiring back to the tank. Not as efficiently as I probably could have, but I got under and followed them wires back to the tank to check everything, and in my opinion, everything looks fine. So, unless someone out there thinks that I have a ground problem, or is that resistor bad in the tank again? So, I went on eBay. I know you guys are like, here we go with the eBay thing again. Went on eBay and ordered a replacement resistor for it. The people that sold me the fuel pump and sending unit said they were going to send me a replacement resistor free of charge, and that they would send me the shipping information. Well, guess what? That was a week and a half ago. Their username on there is called Alien, just like an alien, Alien Deals, D-E-A-L-S. So my recommendation is not to purchase from anybody on Alien Deals store on eBay. But once again, I'm not a big fan of bashing, but whenever I have bad experience, I'm sorry, you're going to get bashed, because I spend way too much money and time and efforts on fixing cars to have to keep redoing things because their product is either not as what was described, because I'm starting to think that it was not an AC-Delco pump. I'm thinking someone just took a handy dandy stamp and stamped on the top of it AC-Delco. But as you can see, that fuel gauge right now seems to be reading right where it's supposed to be. It has managed to drift itself back up to 1/4 of a tank. So why is it when the ignition is on, it doesn't read correctly? Riddle me that. So that's my story for the day. Going to drop the tank. I ordered from another seller on eBay. I'm going to drop the tank probably this week whenever it comes in. I'm off Saturday, so I'm sure the part will be here before Saturday, or even maybe if I get time in the evening after work. I mean, unfortunately, I'm getting really good at this, and I don't want to be good at it because that means I'm having to do it over and over again. I'm going to drop the tank again, and I'm going to replace that resistor on the actual float mechanism on the actual side of the sending unit. It just clips in, and then it comes with the wires and everything in the appropriate plugs. You just plug it in to the top of the sending unit where the top of the tank is, and then there's also a wire that runs to the pump that just pushes in 2 leads with a clip on the end of that. So I'm going to go ahead and just take that pump out. I'm going to keep the pump that's in there because as far as I'm concerned, it sounds really good. It's got great fuel pressure. I'm not going to mess with it, so I'm going to leave that one in there that's in there, but I am going to pull it out, and I'm going to replace that resistor. I paid $15. I think it was called Global, like, you know, like the globe. Global Automotive, I believe, is the vendor on eBay that I purchased it from. When you search for the word fuel pump under the category of 97 Chevy Blazer 2-door base for the vehicle description, they'll come up. You'll be able to find it, and they advertise guaranteed to fix your fuel gauge. So we're going to go ahead with that, since clearly Alien Deals weren't able to follow through with their promise of sending me a replacement resistor. You know, because they only gave me a 60-day warranty on the pump and the sending unit because it was a closeout deal for $130. $129.99, I believe, is what I paid for it. It's still, I mean, come on, guys, $130. The pump is 5 months old. I think, if I were to take a guess, I have approximately not even 4,000 miles on it. According to what I'm looking at my odometer right now, I have less than 4,000 miles on this fuel pump and sending unit, and the resistor is shot already. Is this a GM problem? Everybody out there at these Blazers have these. Excuse me, I just don't know of anybody that has to replace this stuff so quickly. I mean, is it really that much of a problem? And if it is, someone out there has to, in my opinion, someone out there has to have a fix for this. I mean, is there nobody out there that has a fix for why these sending units are going bad, if that's what this ends up being when I get done replacing it? Tons and tons of people talking about it. I mean, I'm on Blazer forums. I'm also on Eric the Car Guy, which is another YouTube person. He has a channel, I should say. He has his own website. Eric the Car Guy, he's very successful. Incredible guy, super nice. Never met him myself, but heard nothing but good things. I know people that actually know him, and he's actually a super nice guy. He has tons of how-to videos on his website. And with that said, he has an online forum, ericthecarguy.com. Is an actual forum that he has created his own website, and you can go on there and type in your automotive repair questions. You can put trouble codes in there and everything else, and it works really well. I've joined it, and I've gotten a lot of good, accurate feedback from other people on there. Even if Eric doesn't have time, keep in mind he's one person with over 100,000 subscribers, so even if he doesn't have time to answer your questions, there are a lot of other smart people on his site that will answer the questions for you. And help you out. You just go in there and create a new topic. First you register, they'll send you an email, they'll send you like a confirmation email. Just click on the link to make sure you confirm it. Sometimes it goes to your junk mail, so just make sure you check that. Once you sign up for ericthecarguy.com, then you can go ahead and start posting questions, researching questions, searching trouble codes, and you know, I've even got some feedback on there about the problem, but I only got one person that emailed me did give me some good information, but it's basically how to rig the sending unit to keep the problem from happening. I guess they feel that it's the slop in the actual float mechanism that comes up, that goes up and down according to the fuel level, tends to slop away from the tank. It gets wear in it, which once again, 4,000 miles I think is ridiculous to have wear in it already. It causes it to pull away, the contacts to pull away from the resistor, not get good contact, and that is where this problem occurs. I guess with the more fuel in it, that would make sense why the gauge works fine whenever it's at the full level, because you got all that pressure of the gas pushing against that, which is helping secure the connection. I'm going to replace that resistor, guys, but I just want to see if anybody else out there has had problems. Oh, one more thing on this. Someone told me that there is what they call a fuel level buffer module. Everybody says it's down here underneath the dash on the glove box. Yeah, could not find anything like that. The only thing I could find is down below this dash, down here, about above my foot here, under this kick panel here. I found something that kind of looks like what they're describing, and it meets the description. Something that buffers the fuel gauge. It acts as an anti-slosh. Basically what I'm getting at is if you have a vehicle that, or I'm sorry, with the gas bouncing around in the tank, to keep the gauge from going all over the place while you're driving, what it does is it buffers the readings that go to the actual fuel gauge, and it gives you a more accurate reading of where your fuel level is. So instead of giving you, I read something about this years ago, just to give you an example. I don't know if the Blazer works like this, but just to give you kind of an example, it gives you every like 42 or 43 readings from the sending unit that it actually displays here. So that gives the gas enough time to settle down from all the sloshing around when you're banging around, going over bumps, so you're not getting your gauge whopping all over the place. Someone says that the buffer module that is specific on the 97 Chevy Blazers go bad, and they burn up the circuitry and will also cause the problem I'm having. If anybody can highlight where this buffer module is, if such one exists, and tell me where it's at, that would also be appreciated. Down underneath here is, like I said, under this kick panel, I was fixing there. I have some switches. Under here. One's for my aftermarket alarm, which is, I believe, that one. And that one right there is for my remote start switch. I might have them backwards, but I had to resolder the wires to the top of the switches because they had come off or came loose. Because they've probably been on there since '97, guys, so it's to be expected. But yeah, right underneath here, actually, I want to say right actually behind, right where we're looking, like there's the ODB2 connection for hooking up the diagnostics computer. Right behind there is a box that is screwed on or clipped somehow onto the plastic panel, and when you drop the panel, the circuit box comes down with it, and it kind of looks like what they're describing as the buffer module. But once again, I don't know what I'm looking for because I can't find anything on the internet that really supports what we're referring to here. So, like I said, I follow the wiring and everything back to the pump. I mean, this one here is actually behind the, this one here, I don't know how well this is even going to pick up in there, but you can actually, I pull, that's the top of the tank. There's the hose going into it right there. You're looking at the gas tank. You can see on top there, it's probably not very clear because there's not much light, but you're looking at the fuel lines going into it, the nylon lines, and you're also looking at the wiring, which goes back there in the very back against the rear bumper rail there. That's the wire to it. So, like I said, I mean, these are right up behind the bumper here, but you can actually follow. I don't know how well this is going to pick up. You see there that wire harness that's behind that shiny line there? That's actually the fuel pump wiring and sending unit there. Followed it up, everything looks good, but like I said, unfortunately, like I said, it's just not reading right. And you know, this is not the first time I've run into this, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a big fan of dropping tanks constantly. So, but yeah, I mean, that's where we're at. I'm gonna go ahead and close this out because I could talk forever about cars. Love cars. But any feedback's welcome. If anybody knows anything about that buffer module, I'd appreciate that too. Because like I said, I really can't find anything online that really tells me where or what. I mean, I did, but it's not, the information I found is not giving me any kind of positive lead, you know, because I've looked into places, they said this so-called module is supposed to be, and it's not there. So, but that's where we're at. So I'm going to go ahead and close out. Thank you very much for watching. This is the Blazer Guy 1983 channel. So hope you enjoyed, and we'll be back on here soon with another video. Thank you for watching. Later.